Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. Today we're taking something that usually feels like just a basic household chore, and we're going to transform it into a highly operational, highly profitable commercial enterprise. If you've ever thought about starting a cleaning business, you might think it's just about, well, buying a mop and finding a few clients. But the real professionals, the ones actually building scalable, sustainable operations, they know that success comes down to structured systems, solid legal protection, and mathematical pricing. So let's dive right in and uncover exactly what it takes to build a premier cleaning operation from the absolute ground up. Just to put things into perspective right out of the gate and understand why this sector demands our attention, consider the sheer size of the market. According to recent industry reports, the U.S. home cleaning services market is projected to reach an absolutely staggering $14.6 billion by the year 2030. That is a compound annual growth rate of 7.6%. So yeah, this isn't just some casual side hustle industry. We're talking about a booming economic sector with massive opportunities for entrepreneurs who actually know how to operate like professionals. And why the massive explosion? Well, we are looking at a permanent shift in societal behavior. That $14.6 billion projection is fueled by a massive post-pandemic boom in hygiene consciousness. It's driven by urbanization, commercial expansion, and this increasing trend of busy professionals and businesses literally just outsourcing their maintenance. You see, sanitation and aesthetic upkeep, they are no longer seen as luxuries. They are strict operational necessities and serious compliance requirements. Okay, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. Choosing your business model, establishing your legal and insurance baseline, selecting professional equipment, building standard operating procedures, and finally, profitable pricing formulas. All right, section 1, choosing your business model, residential versus commercial. So before you even think about buying a single tool, you have to decide exactly who you are serving. Your very first major strategic decision is choosing between residential and commercial cleaning. On one hand, residential offers a much easier startup. You've got lower equipment costs and really flexible scheduling. But the challenges can include emotionally demanding clients. I mean, you are in their personal space, after all, and generally smaller, sometimes pretty inconsistent contract values. On the other hand, commercial cleaning, like offices, schools, retail spaces, offers some massive pros. We're talking recurring revenue, much larger contract values, and long-term agreements that make scaling up incredibly efficient. The trade-off? Well, it requires a much larger upfront investment in specialized gear, strict adherence to safety guidelines, and often requires your teams to work night and weekend shifts. As a beginner, focusing on just one of these models initially is absolutely crucial to maintaining high quality. Moving on to Section 2, legal setup and insurance and protecting your assets. I know, a lot of beginners view insurance as this annoying overhead cost. But the pros? They view it as a critical differentiator that instantly wins client trust. And actually, protecting your business is highly affordable. Based on real-world data from Insurion, general liability insurance, which covers property damage and client injuries, runs about $48 a month. A business owner's policy, which bundles liability and commercial property insurance, is roughly $76. And if you're bringing on employees, workers' compensation sits around $136. Listen, when a commercial client requires $2 million in liability coverage before they even let you on their property, having these policies already in place is literally what gets you the contract. And speaking of securing those lucrative contracts, this specific term is a real game changer, a janitorial bond. For just about $11 a month, this type of surety bond provides employee dishonesty coverage, meaning if an employee steals from a customer, the insurance company steps in and reimburses that customer. High-end residential clients and big commercial contracts will often strictly refuse to hire unbonded cleaning companies. Being bonded sends a very clear message to the client. Your assets are entirely safe with us. Let's hit Section 3, professional equipment and supplies.
Okay, it is time to completely drop that household cleaning mindset and adopt commercial-grade sanitation protocols. Showing up to a job site with a highly organized, totally professional array of tools immediately signals reliability and supreme competence to a new client. It shows them you aren't just making it up as you go. You have a dedicated caddy, precise tools for precise jobs, and a real operational system ready to deploy.
To actually achieve that professional result, you're going to need a few commercial upgrades. First up, commercial HEPA vacuums. These trap fine dust and pet dander instead of just, blowing it right back into the room. Second, a color-coded microfiber system. This is a massive industry standard to prevent cross-contamination, because you definitely never want the cloth used in a bathroom to end up wiping down a break room counter. Next, you absolutely must utilize EPA List N disinfectants, ensuring you are effectively killing pathogens. For exterior commercial jobs, 3,000 psi pressure washers are the standard, right alongside highly efficient flat mop systems. These specific tools reduce physical strain on your staff and dramatically cut down the time spent on site. And guess what? Less time on site directly increases your profit margins.
Next up is Section 4, Standard Operating Procedures. Now, your tools are really only as good as the hands that wield them. An SOP, or Standard Operating Procedure, is the true backbone of a scalable operation. It's a logical, almost mathematical workflow that guarantees absolutely no area is ever missed. Step 1 is pre-arrival prep. Your team inspects their equipment, refills chemicals, and verifies their PPE before they even leave for the job. Step 2 is the arrival procedure. They park professionally, greet the client courteously, and conduct a quick, efficient site walkthrough to confirm the exact scope of work. Step 3 is the cleaning execution itself. This is a rigorous top-to-bottom system. You always start with high dusting using telescopic poles, move your way down to damp dusting surfaces, and finally execute damp mopping in a strict figure S pattern. That ensures the mop head stays in constant contact with the floor. Systemizing these steps ensures elite professional standards across every single team member you ever hire.
And finally, Section 5, Profitable Pricing Formulas. All right, let's bring the whole shebang together. You can have the absolute best SOPs and top-of-the-line equipment, but if your math is wrong, your business is going to fail. Simple as that. I really need you to memorize this equation from field camp. Service price equals labor cost plus overhead plus profit margin. One of the single biggest mistakes beginners make is just guessing their prices out of thin air or blindly matching whatever local competitors are charging. Long-term success requires strict formula-based pricing. Whether you are using hourly, flat rate, per room, or per square foot models, it all routes right back to this foundational formula. Let's actually break down the math on the true labor cost equation. Because listen, labor will typically represent 50 to 70% of your operating costs. If you pay an employee a $10 hourly wage, your actual cost is not $10. You have to account for payroll taxes, let's say $2, and benefits or insurance, maybe another $1. So your true total labor cost per hour is actually $13. Now, if 2 cleaners work for 3 hours, your true labor cost is $78. If you only charge the client a flat $100 for that job, your overhead and your profit margin are completely squeezed out. You literally must know your true costs to build a sustainable, scalable business. So it all comes back to where we started. You now understand the strategic difference between commercial and residential models. You know exactly why legal protections win you those big contracts. You have the checklist for commercial-grade tools, the framework for bulletproof operational SOPs, and the strict mathematical formulas to actually ensure profitability. The entire blueprint is right here in front of you. So what does this all mean for you? Are you ready to step up, systemize your operations, and claim your share of this massive $14.6 billion market? The opportunity is waiting for those willing to do it professionally.